Welcome back to BikeBeat. Today we're taking a deep dive into the 2026 CFMOTO 450 metric tons, a motorcycle that has been stirring up a lot of excitement in the adventure segment. This is a machine designed to give riders that multi-terrain confidence without the heavy price tag or intimidating bulk of bigger adventure bikes. Think of it as a sweet spot between accessibility and capability, aimed at riders who want to commute through the week, then head off the beaten path when the weekend arrives. At the heart of the 450 metric tons is a 449 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine with liquid cooling and a 270-degree crankshaft. The figures sit at about 42 horsepower, produced around 8,500 RPM, and 44 Newton meters of torque delivered at 6,250 RPM. Those numbers don't put it in superbike territory, but they are plenty for the type of riding this bike is made for. The parallel twin setup with dual balance shafts means smooth operation even at higher revs, and a usable torque curve that lets you pull confidently from low down. It's mated to a 6-speed gearbox that slots smoothly and gives you flexibility across highway cruising in low-speed technical terrain. When you consider the dry weight of about 175 kilograms, the power-to-weight ratio actually feels lively, especially when you compare it to other bikes in this class. Chassis and handling are where this motorcycle shows its adventure DNA. With a tall 21-inch front wheel and an 18-inch rear, the geometry is clearly tuned for rough surfaces. Ground clearance sits at 220 millimeters, meaning you don't have to worry about rocks, ruts, or obstacles scraping the belly. The seat height is set at 820 millimeters in stock form, which is approachable for many riders, and there's an option to adjust down closer to 800 millimeters if needed. This flexibility makes it less intimidating for newer or shorter riders while still providing the commanding position adventure enthusiasts crave. Suspension components come from BikeBeat, with upside-down forks up front and a rear monoshock linked through a multi-link system. Both ends are adjustable for preload and damping, letting you tune the ride for solo commuting, two-up touring, or a bit of off-road exploration. The suspension travel combined with the wheel sizes gives the bike the ability to handle gravel roads and forest trails with confidence while remaining composed on tarmac. Braking is handled by a big 320mm front disc clamped by a 4-piston J.1 caliper, and a 240mm rear disc. Bosch supplies the dual-channel ABS system, which can be switched off at the rear for dirt riding. You also get switchable traction control, a welcome feature at this price point and displacement. Design-wise, the 450 metric tons is immediately recognizable as part of the modern adventure breed. It wears the Beak-style front fender, angular bodywork, and a tall adjustable windscreen that can be tailored to your height or preference. Lighting is all LED, with a sharp headlamp unit that blends well with the aggressive stance. The instrument cluster is a curved 5-inch TFT display that's crisp and easy to read even in daylight. It offers Bluetooth connectivity for calls and navigation prompts, which again is a feature many entry-level adventure bikes still lack. Ergonomics are upright and neutral, with a wide handlebar that gives good leverage and control. The seat is designed for comfort over distance, while the foot peg placement works for both seated highway riding and standing up when you hit a rough trail. Fuel capacity is 17.5 liters, which combined with the efficiency of a 450 twin should provide a solid touring range before needing to refuel. The overall build strikes a balance between being lightweight enough to maneuver easily and sturdy enough to carry luggage or accessories for longer trips. For daily life in the city, the compact feel makes it easy to filter through traffic, while on the highway the windscreen and seating position reduce fatigue. On the road, the engine feels eager in the mid-range. It has enough punch to handle overtakes on highways, though you'll find its limits if you demand rapid acceleration at high speeds, especially with a passenger and luggage on board. Still, cruising at a comfortable pace is easily within its reach. In the city, the smooth clutch and light throttle response make it a friendly commuter. Take it off-road and you'll appreciate the front wheel's ability to roll over obstacles and the ground clearance that keeps rocks and bumps from being a problem. The suspension, when dialed in correctly, absorbs uneven surfaces well, though it's not intended for extreme off-road punishment. It excels in moderate dirt tracks, fire roads, and gravel routes, the kind of riding most adventure enthusiasts actually do. What makes the 450 metric tons stand out are the features offered at its price. Adjustable BikeBeat suspension, Bosch safety electronics, tubeless spoke wheels, LED lighting, TFT screen with Bluetooth, and a genuine 21-inch front will all bundled in a package that remains approachable both in weight and cost. Adventure bikes with similar hardware often sit in much higher price brackets or come with compromises like cast wheels or fewer rider aids. By offering this suite, CFMOTO positions the 450 metric tons as a value leader. The unique selling points really boil down to three things. First, the balance between accessibility and capability. It's light, friendly, and unintimidating, but still equipped for real adventure. Second, the feature set. At this price range you usually have to pick between basic machines or much smaller displacement models. Third, the brand's trajectory. CFMOTO has been expanding its presence worldwide, and with growing service networks and better aftermarket support, the ownership experience is becoming less of a gamble than it was a decade ago. Pricing naturally varies by region. In India, estimates put it between 4 and 4.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom, positioning it directly against the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 and the KTM 390 Adventure. In the United States, the bike under the Ibex 450 name has launched around $6,500 MSRP, which undercuts or matches rivals while offering more displacement and equipment. In Europe, prices will depend on taxes, but the positioning is clearly to be competitive against mid-displacement ADVs, often undercutting Japanese rivals while offering more kit as standard. If you're wondering who this bike is perfect for, think about riders who want one motorcycle that can commute comfortably during the week, tackle a weekend touring trip, and then head into the hills or onto gravel without hesitation. It's approachable for newer riders stepping up from smaller capacity machines, but also offers enough to keep more experienced riders entertained. It's not for those who need high-speed touring performance with heavy loads, nor for hardcore off-road riders who want extreme suspension travel and rally-spec hardware. It sits in the middle ground where most adventure enthusiasts actually ride. In summary, the 2026 CFMOTO 450 metric tons represents a strong step forward in the middleweight adventure category. It manages to combine usable power, manageable weight, genuine off-road equipment, and modern features in a package that remains affordable. For riders considering their first adventure bike or wanting to downsize from a heavy machine without giving up the spirit of exploration, this bike is a compelling option. It shows how far the segment has come, and how much value manufacturers like CFMOTO are willing to deliver to win riders over. If you're in the market for a versatile, adventure-ready machine that won't break the bank or your back, the 450 metric tons deserves a test ride. And that wraps up our look at the 2026 CFMOTO 450 metric tons. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you stay tuned here at BikeBeat, where we bring you in-depth looks at the bikes shaping the future of motorcycling.